Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our midday market update for October the 25th. This is George Papazov, Tuesday, October 25th. It's George Papazov, owner, founder, and trader here at Trade Pro Academy, where we do educational courses, but a lot more than that. We do trader development and help individuals who are interested in trading have the best shot and best chance at success through developmental education. So have a look at our website. There comes with a 14-day free trial. In addition to that, we have a free daily newsletter every single morning. You get a trade idea and an update of the overnight markets at tradeproacademy.com/TradeProDaily, or hit the link in the description. All right, we want to get started in today's update. We have a lot to talk about through what's happened so far in the session. We've seen a little bit more volatility this morning, and I'm just going to recap what's happened already. So you know why the markets have moved, then we'll talk about what's going to be the catalyst for the movement in the afternoon and some future things you should watch for. All right, here's how it started. There was some strength in the Asian markets and the European markets overnight into the S&P 500. So let me just flip here and go SPX 500. Look at a 15-minute or a 5-minute time frame. You could see, where are we at? Right here. We got some strength going into Europe. And around the 9 o'clock mark, we got weak. From about 8 a.m. to 9:30 in the morning, we opened really weak. There's a bit of a sell-off. And then we went bullish for the first 30 minutes. What I want you guys to write down here on your notes right now, and never forget this, is from 9:30 to 10 a.m., the first 30 minutes, try not to trade that. Stay away. That's a really chop session that tries to sucker some traders into believing it's going to be an up day and then just hammering them. So whichever way it goes in the first 30, that initial opening 30-minute mark, be very careful going on board with that trend. It usually reverses. It's usually a whipsaw. All right, I'm not saying there aren't days that open and just keep going upwards, but there's ways to find that out, and we cover all of that in our education. So today was one of those days. It got strong as of 9:30, and I had the opportunity to hit the bid here and whack the price lower, so I shorted it. I'm currently long the S&P 500, but I shorted at around 10 a.m. and then rode it through at 10:20. Now, let me show you the reason behind that. First of all, what happened at 10 a.m.? Some of you might wonder. And you should know this. At 10 a.m., the U.S. consumer confidence number got released at 98.6 versus an expectation of 101.5. The previous release was 103.5. So you could see it's moving in a negative direction. Consumer confidence accounts for about 80 to 90% of the GDP in the United States. It's a very, very important number. So what happened? We whiffed on that number. Okay, 98.6 is low. That's pretty much, you could see it's kind of tapering off on the upside since 2015. So we've had a lot of growth since 09. Consumers kind of started to come back as the 2011 and 2012 stock market started to rebound, and then they got confident, and that confidence peaked in 2015. Okay, so now the importance is we tended to have been on an upswing here, but we got a little more weak, or a little more bearish, if you will. So this was a bearish reading for the market. Okay, the market wasn't going to really come in and get hammered right away, but slowly and eventually the cracks started to show, and there was a great short opportunity. So let me walk you through this. All right, I'm currently long. I told you that already. All right, not to be a jerk. So let's go at 9:30. Here it was. Here's open. At about 9:45, I had an opportunity to get long myself here. Okay, I bought into this at 9:30. I'll show you why. But the important thing I want to show you is that 21:45 is where I shorted on the session. And I shorted big here. And I'll show you why. If you go on a 6 PNF, point and figure is a rotational type of candle that helps you decide. Actually, at this point, I might have to go to 10 PNF. Sorry. But that's just how it goes. All right. I shorted it when the price rallied at about 9:45 or 10-ish into this zone here. All right. And you can see on a 6 PNF, there was a lot of sell imbalance and sell resistance from that price level. I may not be able to show you this, but who knows? Maybe I could. Hoping it will work a little bit better. I apologize for this, guys. Trader 2.0. Close out this. Oh, it's just a demo account. That's fine. All right. So sold into it coming into this level and these 46s. No, I didn't. That's a lie. A little struggle here. Anyways, I'm going to show you the divergence I was talking about. You can always see my, if you join the subscription base, you can see all my trades. So look at this. At about 10 o'clock, after this consumer confidence number came out, something curious happened. So what you're going to look at here, the purple line is NASDAQ. NQ is represented by the purple line. The green line is the ES, or the E-mini contracts. And you could see the ES had formed a low. You see that here very clearly, the purple line. The green line, however, had not. And what ended up happening here around 10:20 is the bottom gave out on the NQ. NASDAQ just broke through the floor and started to sell off, and volume picked up. And I was following the volume as well. The ES, however, was still holding a high. So I said one of two things happens here. NQ or NASDAQ is usually the leader. Okay, it's the leader in a move. So it led the move lower. So I said, all right, give me a bounce and I'll short it. So it bounced. I added to the short. Remember, I was already short from up top here on ES. Got the bounce, got the short, and then sure enough, what happened? NQ led the move down. ES flinched, it tried to fight, and then eventually caught down to the NASDAQ. This is how you use a secondary market to get you into a trade. And if you ask me the reason for my short or adding to my short, it was simply this. NASDAQ broke the bottom. It's a leading market. It tends to pull the ES with it. It bounces the ES around because the NASDAQ's full of biotechs, tech stocks, and a bunch of stuff that moves quicker. Okay, higher beta type products, higher beta type stocks. So when it started to sink and drop below this low, it's a great opportunity to get short the ES. And then here's what I'll walk you through what pretty much happened the rest of the day. Where are we at right now? Okay, so again, I got short up here. Okay, stayed short, covered 2 lots in this sequence because when it's going down and hitting some support of VWAP, you have to cover. That's one lesson I always teach everyone. You have to cover trades. Covered a little bit down here, and then the last lot down there. So that was my trade. I rode through it. So I stayed short through that 10-20 sequence because NASDAQ was dragging us lower. Now let me bring you to where we are right now and show you a trade that I lost. If somebody's not showing you trades that they're losing, don't believe to those people. Don't subscribe to their theories and just run away far and fast. All right, trade was coming down. I found some support structure here. I'm not going to explain why. I'll show it to you in a second. Found some support structure, took a long, added into that long, and I said, you know what, should we break this low? I'll give it 2 ticks and I'm out. And that was my plan before I got in. And when I got in, 2 ticks and I was out. Then what do you see right below? 191 by 0. That's a low auction. That means I literally got stopped at 1 tick above the low, and then it ran up towards my price action. What do? Do you get peed off here? Well, you might get a little angry saying I missed this upside. Now I could have broke even, but that's the wrong way to look at it psychologically. You say, all right, I tried it long. I was wrong. I got stopped out. Let me see how this consolidation pans out. So I wait a few more moments here. I see price press. You know, sellers here at this 37 quarter trying to push the ES lower and lower. See that here? Trying to push it lower. They can't do it. They can't push the price lower. And where does it stop? At 36 quarter, where does it stop? Right into this buy imbalance. Look at how much buyers there are. And I said, all right, first time around, there was a little bit of buyers, okay, but sellers overpowered and stopped me out. So that was a wrong trade. It didn't work out. The trade idea was great, maybe a little early. Now you've got a distribution of buyers soaking up this 36 level. Okay, get long. I got no issue taking another long as it makes sense. If I'm just taking another long because I was wrong the first time, that's a terrible trade, and I'll mark it as such in my review. But if I'm getting long for a good reason, and it's a nice patient long, regardless of what happened here, if I would have got long anyways, I'm going to do the trade. I'm not scared to trade. I just can't do stupid trades. I've done enough of them in my career that I know what they cost. All right, so here they are. What do? I grab a long right there. It pops. Now, if you get a long in a bottom end like this, or you catch a nice bottom bounce, look, I picked this thing up at about 36, and I got some decent size into this trade. I got 39. That's a 3-point run. That's a lot in the ES. Considering it's a down day, 3 points is a decent run. You have to cover some of your position when you get into this type of zone right here, 39.5, low volume notch, volume profile forming in here. All right, especially since the morning session after Europe closed, a lot of volume got let off around this zone. That zone's 39 and 36. Okay, if I was able to buy the 36, I better be able to cover some of that high. If I'm not covering that high as a trader, or I'm not selling out of some of it to lock a profit, I'm a terrible trader. All right, phenomenal. You got 3 points. What are you going to wait for? Another 3 points? Another 3? What are you going to say? I want 30 points. Suddenly you want to try to catch the S&P 500 to get up to 2,500. And you get greedy. And greediness has cost more traders' accounts than fear. Trust me. Trust me on that much. All right, so what do? I cover some of it. And then from here, here's my entry. Okay, I cover. You can see here at 39. I don't cover. I actually offer and I sell part of my position. All right, I unload some of my contracts, about 1/3. And with the remainder, see this purple line? I put my stop loss at break even and it becomes a trailer. So if price continued higher, this would trail higher, 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 and walk with the price. Now where are we at? Well, I'm told you I'm long, and it looks like I'm almost wrong. And wrong, but I got my stop. Initial position, I covered up top. I sold up top. That's why. Take profits when you got it, guys. In these kind of markets that are choppy, that's a great swing. Take some profit out, all right? Because you know this is coming. And when this comes here, be disciplined enough to know where your stop is, know the risk or the zone at which it doesn't make sense to be long anymore. In fact, this is a great zone to abandon the trade because, look, there's volume profile. If we get below this 39,000 point of control, so 39,000 contracts are traded on the ES, this is referred to as a point of control. Okay, if I get below this point of control, I got to abandon this long trade. In fact, look what's happening. At these 39s, you're seeing nothing but sellers step in. But at the same time, they're a little frustrated because they're selling and the price ain't going anywhere. So something's going to happen in the afternoon, and it's going to happen big. That's this entire thing I wanted you to walk through is to show you kind of the development of a trading day and to show you the traders that do this for a living lose, just like you do. The difference is I lost small. Okay, I didn't let this trade run away from me. If you were somebody who got long up here and says, well, you know what, I did the same thing as you, George, but I stayed long, great. The question is, on a day that does this and you buy down here trying to fade the move and it continues lower, like 30 points, do you still stay long? Those are the days that destroy traders. I see profits of a whole month wiped out in a single day. All right, you want the inverse to be true. True traders have losses that they recover quickly. They don't have big losses for long. That's the truth. You're not that far away from consistent profitability if you're following this. That's what I want to tell you. Okay, let me show you some levels for the afternoon and give you some. I think that was enough value on a live trade basis. 10:35 a.m. Bank of England's Governor Mark Carney came out and said monetary policy cannot do everything. All right, he's a former Bank of Canada governor, and I'll read to you what else he said. He basically said monetary policy has been relied on. It's overstretched and exerted, and we're relying for it to cause a recovery, and that's not what it's meant to do. That's what he said. Market didn't like that. 10:48, Russia said they're not supportive of production cuts in the next OPEC meeting and non-OPEC meeting in November. Oil didn't like that. Oil's below $50 a barrel. In their morning update, that's what I was shooting for. I was saying to you guys, look, we're going to get another shot at this. Let me actually flip to the screen right now. We're going to get another shot at this 50. If you're short oil, don't worry, you're going to get a shot at 50. And today, sure enough, it cracked this 50 point. In the morning when I was telling you, I was up here, said, you know what, the fact this candle came down did some damage. I think we make another run at 50. You need to know one thing right now. It's very important. Momentum's rolling over. You got a lot of potential downside on oil. You can get 49, you can get 48, but don't be greedy because today at 4:35 p.m., there's a private API inventory release for crude oil, gasoline, and distillate inventories. That's at 4:30 Eastern time. It usually comes around 4:30 or 4:35. If you're holding over that and you're trading the ETF, you're stuck in the dark. No matter what happens, your hands are tied. So what you want to do if you're trading the ETF like we are, and with the subscribers, we're going to go through the trade. We're going to roll that trade from a long put options on USO to a short futures contract so we can manage that risk. If you're holding something through an inventory report, either you got a lot of profit already or you're gambling. Sure, it could go your way, but it's got opportunity to go against you. And nobody likes the feeling of something going against them when they can't do anything about it. That's why trading these USO ETFs to trade oil is a nightmare. So you can't dump USO. 4 o'clock, the market closes. You can't get out of that position. Okay, so be careful. That's what I want to tell you. It's coming out. Apple's reporting after the bell. Watch for iPhone 7 sales. That's kind of what the buzz is going to be. Okay, so what you need to know so far this morning, weak consumer confidence index. All right, oil broke the 50 support. S&P 500 is getting hammered into. There's some selling appetite. Let me show you the key levels to watch on this SPOOS, and then we'll cut you for the day. And we'll go to subscribers, talk about some of the trades, because I think there's some good opportunities coming up. Any questions so far? Comments, concerns? Anyone having emotional breakdowns, anxiety? Hope not. Hope I'm not causing it. All right, look. You have to follow a chart like this, something that's got volume profile. Barbara, why? What's wrong? You have to follow a volume profile on the right side of your chart. If you can't stack volume vertically like this, change your broker, change your charting. This is the new wave of the future. All this technical analysis talks about the volume at the bottom. That's education 10 years ago. You can't make money in today's market with 10-year-old information. Okay, so here's what you need to follow. Still long the S&P 5. Look, it recovered. Told you I was long at the bottom, shorted it into the morning here, and kept short through the NASDAQ divergence. But two bottoms being formed here, right? A new low. However, on the delta, this is really the measurement of imbalance between buyers and sellers, showing that on this new low, there were actually buyers soaking up this level. And why did it make sense to reverse there? Why was I looking to get long? Because number one, we're at the value area low of the day, all right? We're way below the value area low of the previous day, and we were right near the point of control for the 5-day period, okay? If there's any buyers out there waiting to buy this thing, they were waiting to buy it at 35. Does it make sense why I never got the 35? Because somebody said, hey, 35 is going to, everyone's waiting to buy 35. I'll buy 35 quarters. Somebody said, I'll buy 35 halves. And then everyone went in there into that dip. That's what I was looking for. That's when I got stopped out. All right, I was premature on my first trade. The second one, I caught it clutch. I'm still riding a trailer. My target for the upside now is 39, half to about 40. Careful at 40. There's a lot of buy stops waiting to get triggered above here. Anatoly, come on, man. Did I force you out, or was it a good exit? Anatoly was short. Look, what I'm saying is this bottom buyer started to come in. All right, don't let me force anyone out of anything. But when you get at the top of this volume notch, understand that you're in a low volume node and you're going to run into resistance right here in these two VWAPs. I am not saying that the price can't continue lower, but I'm saying they're going to try to make a run at these VWAPs first, and they're going to try to find right here, this level. What is this yellow line? 42.5. It's today's opening price. Buyers' number one target is to get it to today's open. Seller's goal should be right now to lean on this thing. All right. I'm long, but I'm going to be covering around these 40s because this is no man's land right here. Okay. If you believe you're short, take a shot somewhere up here. I'm with you. But right now, against this notch, against low volume, anything can happen here. I mean, I do see some sellers being able to come in and say, hey, we got it, sold it, got it to go down, sold it, got it to go down. They might try it, but be careful for this 37 on the way down. That will be massive support. I say if we get a wave down, bounce off 37, we're going to rally. The fact buyers are getting aggressive here on this delta while price coming down, that's a divergence. 6 times out of 10 at least will get you up to the open for the session. All right, that's what you have to be careful of. We zoom out a little bit more. Okay, we zoom out a little bit more. However, look what we got. You got lower high or higher lows, equal highs. We broke out of it, spent some time consolidating. Didn't really bang out too much 5-day value. I wanted to see some notches up here. Want to see some more trading. It got in, got weak, dropped back in the zone. We're back now into a chop that we've seen in the last 5 days. All right, so we could circle around or consolidate in the zone. It doesn't have to go in a direction. It would actually make sense to do some of this right in this price area. So be cautious, all right? Hopefully I didn't confuse the crap out of everyone. I basically gave you reason to believe if you go sideways, gave you reason to believe you could be long, and gave you reason to believe you could be short. Short since 45 quarter, 10-10. Yeah, I was pretty much right there with you. I shorted about, I think, 45 evens. So you got quarter point higher than me. Held through this NQ, but dumped it way before you. So good for having patience, but careful for this double bottom. All right. Any other questions, guys? Yeah, I also use volume profile. And volume profile, it's a really good question, is doing something as such. You see the U.S. session yesterday was sideways. All right, the overnight session led us higher and then ended weak. U.S. weakness spilled over. And where is it finding support? Look at this. Some of this mid-chop. Is it any wonder that that's the 5-day point of control? No, because a lot of prices traded through that zone. So watch those 35s. That should be the low for the day. All right, guys, have a wonderful afternoon. Be careful out there. If you're short oil, like I am at the moment, look to exit that trade before the API inventory, especially if you're short ETF. Oh, yeah, gold. I promised I was going to look at gold as well. Gold, I'm long at the moment. Subscribers and us, we've been long since about 1252-ish or so, 1253. We've been patient, sat through all this, but now we're getting paid a little bit. Momentum's starting to go bullish on gold. It's fighting this 200-day moving average, but don't get too excited. I think 1285 might be the topping point before rotation down or a swing down back to about 1210. Okay, so I'm still bearish, but I like where it's going because I'm long. Dollar index fell out of bed this morning. As we're talking on Periscope, we were saying, hey, it's starting to get hit. It crossed 99.10. My target for the week was 99.50 to 99.20ish or so. So I fell short of my target, but hey, look at it, just reversed right over. It got weak. It got absolutely clobbered. On weak dollar, you get strong gold. You get strong oil typically. The fact oil is weak today is an anomaly versus the index, but that's driven by the fact Russia basically said there's going to be no production cut. Right? Iraq, Iran don't want to play by the rules. Everybody wants everyone else to freeze their production except themselves. Duh. I kind of want that too. All right. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. Be really careful out there. There's nothing to suggest that you're going to have a crazy move. There could be, but just be cautious because there's nothing else for the day. We have API inventory numbers. We have Fed's Lockhart. He speaks at 120. He's probably already on the wire. Let me see if he said anything. No, he hasn't said anything yet. Nothing on the squawk. He's speaking at 120 in the Opportunity Finance Network regarding lending and investing in community development. But careful, they might ask about monetary policy. There's nothing else. The calendar's dry. And we have earnings. We have a 48 reports in after hours, including Apple. So if the market goes quiet here, don't let it punish you. Don't get caught in chop. Don't try to force trades this afternoon. You're going to get annihilated. In a choppy market, even the best of traders sometimes have a hard time staying out of a position. Okay, keep your wrist tight. Be careful. I think the long side is the right side for now. I'm still long, like I told you guys. Somebody said, "Where's my stop?" Well, I think I showed you, didn't I? My stop was down here before. Okay, because when I got out, okay, look, I got long down here. On the remainder of the third, my stop was up here. So basically, one tick above. Free trade. But it's a trade. So you could see as prices went 2 ticks higher, this thing moved 2 ticks higher as well. So now I'm trailing with the price. I'm considering getting out of a few more if we don't break out in the next 10 to 15 seconds. All right, look at this, 17.90 on the buy. I think if we get above 39.50, like I just told you, there's no volume really for the day session. We're going to squeeze some shorts all the way up to 49. All right, 44 to 49, and we'll probably get it up there. We could start to look at the highs. Okay, on the way, where is it going to stop? Wherever there's been aggressive selling. So 47 will be a good stopping ground. 46 half, and right now, look, is it surprised that it's not going higher? Hold on a second. This is even the accurate chart. All right, let's talk about that again. Wait a minute, 49. All right, look at this. 6 PNF and with 10 PNF. 10 PNF is probably better. It won't cheat me anymore. Yeah, now I can give you the levels. All right, watch for the shorts. They couldn't get this low. They can't get a new low. Now they're powering up to the upside. Above here, targets of 41. And then the next selling imbalance happened right here, 42 to 43. Watch that level. To the T, that's going to come and touch it and come off a little bit. All right, so 43 is the upside target. I'm still long. Look, my stop loss is moving. It's 37. If it gets up to the VWAP, it's going to move to 37.5. If it goes up, it's going to continue to move with it. If price suddenly tops out and comes down, I don't care. I'm going to get stopped out for profit. That's a matter of how much. Have a wonderful, I know, Anatoly. Anatoly's like 49. What are you, nuts? Sorry, the chart was scrolled out. I thought that was current price. I should have caught it. I didn't. I was watching like 13 monitors. But yeah, upside, careful at this 40. As we float into the zone, sellers might try to show up. So Anatoly, if you're short, that's your zone to watch at the moment. If you get squeezed out of that at the upside, then so be it. Buyers might pick up some momentum through here. I'm going to try to offer. So I told you I got rid of 1/3. Okay, I got rid of it right here. Okay, I'm going to try to offer another third at 40 quarter. And then from there, I'll just let the trailing stop take me out. I might even tighten the trailing stop. You got options, guys. The beautiful part is when you're in a trade with profit, you've got a ton of options. You can do anything with that trade. And it's a good trade because now you're managing risk. Once the risk's off the table, so's your emotion, so's your emotional capital. Now you're thinking logically, and you can extend the profit. All right, have a wonderful session. I've made this too long, unfortunately, but you get more value for less, for your free dollars. Subscribers, hang tight. We'll talk about some positions. 1 second. Afternoon. Check out the newsletter. It comes out every morning. And go to tradeproacademy.com. Take a look at our packages. We got a ton of course development material, quizzes, tests. You get all kinds of support, including live webinars. All right. All the best. Goodbye. Careful out there.